So when we train with kettlebells, we often use various holds. We use those holds not just for exercises like squats or lunges, but we also use it for just simple carries. What do I mean by carry? I mean, well, just pick up a weight and carry with it. You see, since we are no longer in the agricultural age, and most of us live in cities where we don't really do any work, physically, I mean, we have to make up exercises that mimic what farmers did, and still do, for that matter. So we now have farmers' carries in the gym. So what's a farmer's carry? We'll just pick something up, 2 hands, and carry it. So there's your farmer's carry. Now, you can also do what we call a suitcase carry, which for those of you who travel should know what that means. There's your suitcase carry. Now, the farmer's carry and the suitcase carry are quite a bit different in the loading through the spine. The farmer's carry is actually a lot of work for your core to stabilize your pelvis and your hips, but it's often a symmetrical load. So it's not going to tend to shift your body, but the second you go into a walk, you now have to stabilize your pelvis. So when you walk forward, if you're not stable in your hips, you'll see this excessive runway model walk. So we try to stay tall and strong, and we try to step forward without deviating too much through our hips from side to side. Now, if we go into a suitcase carry, it's going to be a slightly different scenario from right to left hip, and a very different scenario on trunk control, because this is going to want to pull me down and over. If I want to resist that, I have to upright through this side. So I'm working more down that left side through obliques, QL on this side. Now, when I step forward with this foot, it's actually easier. This weight, pulling my center of mass with the weight over my foot. It's actually easier to hold this position in the context of hip control. But when I step onto this foot, it's a lot harder because now I have more of my center of mass to the right, and my left hip needs to control that center of mass over my left foot. So there's unique benefits to doing either farmers or a suitcase. Another possible hold for a carry or other exercise would be what we call a single arm front rack hold. So to do a single arm front rack hold, the easiest way to get that set up is to hold a weight with your hand, come underneath with the other hand, and then just turn it straight to the shoulder. When you're in this position, the weight's going to support half on your bicep, half on your forearm. Now, we don't always have a competition kettlebell. If we don't have a competition kettlebell, which means, for one, that all different weights are still the same size of bell, then we have these bells, which are more common in the gym, which means the lighter the weight, the smaller the bell. What that means is you come in this position, it's pretty hard for me to get that onto my biceps. You might have a little bit more load through the forearm in this position. That's fine. Just make sure that you're tight with your fist underneath your chin and your elbow drops into the body a little bit. It's not out here, okay? It's a little bit underneath, okay? So I'm going to come back here. Hand comes underneath. Just turn it straight up to that single arm front rack position. Now, you could do a double arm front rack position, but to do that, you kind of need to know how to do it clean, and we're not going to get there today, so I won't go there. Another possible hold is going to be a goblet hold, which we would have gone over in the goblet squat. If you haven't seen that video, goblet hold is to go either a bottoms up position, holding it straight in front of your body like this. Another option, come through here, hold it straight up in front of your chin like that. Another option, fingers go down, pistol grip we call that, and then come up there and hold it right underneath your chin like that. In all scenarios, when you're doing a goblet hold, your elbow lines up through the line of your wrist. So it's not here. It's there. Straight line from my elbow through my wrist. Okay? So that's a goblet hold. Another potential exercise for a carry would be to do an overhead hold. So to do an overhead hold, we've got to get this weight over top of my head. So I can come up to a front rack, and then from there, press it out, and then you can walk in this position, or you can do a lunge with an overhead hold. Okay, just a different variation to challenge trunk stability and get a little bit more out of your body. So those are your various holds. And again, you could do this in a walk. So if I want to go for a stroll around the block, I just take this weight with me and I add a little bit of load and challenge to my body. Okay, so have fun with that. And remember, this can be applied to a carry, but it can also be applied to many different exercises, squats, lunges, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So have fun with that, and we'll see you another day.